Hello, and thanks again for tuning in to tonight's trivia. I hope you guys are excited because today is Earth Day, and today's trivia is all about Earth Day itself. I hope you guys are ready, and let's get started. Alrighty, starting with question one. When was the first Earth Day officially announced? 1970, 1982, or 1999? And answer that one is, of course, 1970. That was the official first Earth Day, and today is the 50th anniversary. Alrighty, on to the next one. Alrighty, question two. What American river caught fire in 1969, prompting multiple pollution control measures? The Calumet River, the Cayuga River, or the Socio River? And answer that one is the Cayuga River. There was enough gas actually in the water for it to literally just light and fire by itself. No human intervention, which is absolutely terrifying. Alrighty, question three. What book helped launch the modern environmental movement and led to the widespread ban of DDT? The End of Nature, A 1,000-Mile Walk to the Gulf, or Silent Spring? And answer that one is, of course, Silent Spring. This book is incredibly popular in high school for a lot of educators to use. Alrighty, on to the next one. Alright, question four. What 1997 global agreement to reduce greenhouse gases was signed by virtually every country in the world except the United States? The Oslo Accords, Kyoto Protocol, or Millennium Summit? And answer that one is the Kyoto Protocol. The US refused to sign, and at that time the US was producing 30% of the overall greenhouse gases per year. Alright, on to the next one. Question five. The worst American nuclear disaster in history resulted from a partial nuclear meltdown in 1979 at which power plant? 3 Mile, LaSalle, or Shippingport? And if you know your history, it was the 3 Mile Island nuclear generating station that caused a major environmental concern. Alrighty, on to the next one. Question six. In which state did the disastrous Exxon Valdez oil spill occur? Washington, Maine, or Alaska? And answer to that one is, of course, Alaska. Now, if you guys are tuning in late, feel free to go ahead and join in at the link at the top of the screen, ahaslides.com/fam. Alrighty, on to the next one. Question seven. What United States federal program was introduced in 1980 to clean up abandoned toxic and hazardous waste sites? Environmental Finance Program, Superfund Program, or the EHP? And answer that one is the Superfund Program. Alrighty, on to the next one. Question eight. What does 350, the magic number of climate change, refer to? 350 parts per million of carbon dioxide emissions in the atmosphere, 350 million hybrid or electric cars on the road, or 350 million megawatts of energy? And answer that one is, of course, 350 parts per million of carbon dioxide emissions in the atmosphere. This is what's considered on the upper maximum safe levels for us to continue to be able to live safely. Alrighty guys, on to the next question. Question 9. What automobile pollution control technology became universally adopted following the Clean Air Act extension of 1970? Secondary air injection, evaporative emissions control, or catalytic converters? And answer that one is, of course, catalytic converters. This is a little device attached between your engine and your muffler, and it helps reduce the overall amount of pollution in the air. Typically speaking, when you have a muffler issue, you should always double check your catalytic converter as well. Alrighty, on to question 10. What year did the United States EPA declare greenhouse gases a threat to public health? 1994, 2001, or 2009? Answer that was 2009 during the Obama administration. Alrighty, on to question 11. What international agreement set the groundwork for phasing out chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, and other substances known to deplete the ozone layer? EMEP Protocol, Montreal Protocol, or the Geneva Protocol? And that was the Montreal Protocol, signed in Montreal, Canada. Alrighty, on to question 12. The Stockholm Convention of 2001 aimed to reduce what chemical substances that are known to bioaccumulate and pose a threat to human health? POPs, nuclear byproducts, or mercury compounds? And that is persistent organic pollutants. Alrighty, on to question 13. With over 1.2 million people displaced, 13 cities flooded, and a submersion of polluted factories and location on top of geological fault lines, what is widely thought to be the most environmentally destructive dam project of all time? The Hoover Dam, the Three Gorges Dam, or the Caperton Dam? And of course, that was the Three Gorges Dam. Alrighty, on to the next one. Question 14. What city hosted the World Trade Organization Minstrel Conference of 1999, which suffered mass protests by activists concerned about labor, consumer protection, and environmental issues? San Francisco, Portland, or Seattle? And that was, of course, Seattle, folks. Alrighty, on to the next one. Question 15. In 1996, the US EPA issued regulations requiring that home buyers and renters be informed of the presence of lead in what common household material? Paint, pipes, or drywall? And of course, that was paint. And now there are programs globally and locally that help low-income families to replace their old lead paint with safe paint. Alrighty, on to question 16. Which Soviet nuclear plant exploded, causing what is widely considered the worst nuclear disaster in history? Chernobyl, Rostov, or Greifswald? That is, of course, Chernobyl, which is widely known and talked about in movies to date. Alrighty, question 17. The melting of the Greenland ice sheet poses an immediate threat to the survival of which animal? Penguins, polar bears, or killer whales? Answer that one is, of course, polar bears. Alrighty, on to the next one, folks. Question 18. What iconic bird was removed from the endangered species list in 2007 after reaching near extinction in the continental U.S.? The bald eagle, the cardinal, or the blue jay? And that is, of course, the bald eagle. Our national bird is now off the endangered species list. Alrighty, on to the second to last question, folks. Where was the United Nations Climate Change Conference held in 2009? Copenhagen, Stockholm, or Hamburg? That was, of course, Copenhagen. Alrighty, on to our final question of the night. How much of our air pollution comes from motor vehicles like cars and trucks? 30%, 50%, or 65%? And that is shockingly 50%. But with newer vehicles such as Tesla's Model 3, as well as hybrid vehicles like the Toyota Prius, this has been reducing our overall carbon emissions from vehicles. Alrighty, Alyssa, looks like you are tonight's grand winner. Congratulations, and thanks again for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys had an awesome Earth Day, and as well, always, stay safe. Bye!